Massive damage in what looks to be
More fighting could erupt at any moment.
Certainly confusing times. The question of where to place loyalty.
Across the inner sphere, the civil war between the noble houses continues.
open warfare has divided the Federated Commonwealth in several.
The conflict between House Steiner and House Davion rages on.
New tensions in the Chaos March threaten to again spark fighting between former comrades. Colonel David Renard and his executive officer Major Kelly have peacefully divided the command of their forces on Carver 5. The longtime friends carefully separated their troops into House Steiner and House Davion military containment zones. Colonel Renard had this to say about the Davion withdrawal.
We needed time to regroup, to look at ourselves, ask who we were. Where did our loyalties truly lie? For me, and the brave men and women under my command, the answer was clear. They were with Archon Katrina Steiner. They weren't with any rebels. But I am here to tell you, the first shot will not be fired by anyone under my command.
This was the scene on Carver 5 just 2 days ago. In a series of daring raids, a bandit army consisting of tanks and light battle mechs seized several Steiner outposts, stealing supplies and capturing several weapon facilities.
Archon Katrina Steiner was quick to rule out the deployment of additional troops to deal with the bandit threat.
Sending additional Steiner forces to Carver 5 will give the Davion rebels another excuse to bathe a peaceful planet in blood. An alternative solution must be found.
Nerves are certainly frayed in the Steiner territory.
Refugees continue to stream from the planet.
Still more bandit attacks.
The mercenaries are due to arrive shortly, ending weeks of speculation.
I'll ask you again. Was it smart for the Archon to hire mercenaries to deal with the bandit army on Carver 5?
Of course it was smart. It was the best thing she could have done. Think about it. Mercenaries don't care about sides or politics. They care about getting paid. All of the great houses use them. Liao, Karita, Merrick, even your precious Davians use them. That's why the Davion commander has agreed to this solution. Kelly knows that once the bandits are dealt with, the mercenaries will pull out.
Looks like we're already famous, Commander. They think we won't be staying long, but based on the supplies you ordered, I'd say you've got other plans.
It was a complete victory for Steiner. The bandits were hopelessly outclassed by the mercenaries, just as I had predicted. Carver 5 can no longer be considered a hot zone.
Wrong! As we speak, the 4th Alliance Guard is en route to Carver 5 to reinforce the Steiner defensive cordon. The 4th is a hard-fighting unit of veteran Mechwarriors. Why, I ask you, has Colonel Renard called for heavy reinforcements if the bandit threat has been eliminated?
It's obvious. They're gearing up for a strike against Major Kelly's Davion forces. Steiner has always been aggressive.
Political posturing aside, there is something going on here that we don't know about. Why has the Archon refused to comment on this situation?
Davion representatives say they were forced to respond to House Steiner's action, and that the reinforcements were called in as a purely defensive measure.
Major Kelly was quick to take action, calling in heavy units recovered by House Davion during the clan wars. This influx of clan technology should give Davion an edge against the numerically superior Steiner forces.
Tonight, things are heating up on Carver 5.
This is all we can see of Carver 5. We don't know how long it will be before contact can be reestablished. Reports from the planet are sketchy at best. Refugees continue to evacuate, bringing with them stories of horror and hardship.
Widespread fighting has swept the planet. Early accounts indicated that Steiner and Davion forces had finally engaged. New reports suggest that House Liao has been drawn into the fighting. And now unconfirmed sources tell us that a revolution is underway and that partisans plan to storm the capital. With communications cut on Carver 5, we will all have to wait to see how this drama plays out.
New reports confirm tonight that a revolt is underway on Carver 5. Civilians, some say in the thousands, have banded together to stop the destruction of their planet.
Archon Katrina Steiner is headed to her mountain retreat to review the situation.
Fighting is at an all-time high. Refugees gather in makeshift camps as tanks and battle mechs roam the countryside, attacking and counterattacking in an attempt to wrest control of the planet once and for all. Their markings have become irrelevant. To the people, they are simply...
In other news from Carver 5, Captain Jason Cho, a member of the Liao nobility, was killed in a freak training accident while on maneuvers with his unit. Funeral arrangements...
Baxter is not a military strategist. In fact, he is an industrial engineer. He was driven to lead, he says, by the devastating effects of inner-sphere politics on the civilians of Carver 5. But what effect can a civilian revolt have against seasoned veteran soldiers? The best Mr. Baxter can hope for is to open a dialogue with Colonel Renard and begin the process of healing.
Tonight, a special report. Peace on Carver 5 and the birth of a planet named Liberty. After more than a month of grueling combat, conflicting reports, and allegations of war crimes, peace has been restored on Carver 5 by an unlikely source, a mercenary commander. On the Steiner capital of Tharkad today, he is being called a murderer. But here, on this beleaguered planet, they are hailing him as hero.
We take you to a live press conference where the Archon herself is paying tribute to her departed friend.
And so we say goodbye to a fallen hero and a great humanitarian. His commitment to the people of Carver 5 will never be forgotten.
Archon, will you comment on the people's decision to rename the planet Liberty?
That will be all for today.
Will House Steiner try to recover Liberty?
The damage that the mercenaries have done on Carver 5 cannot be mended through force of arms.
Will you seek retribution against a mercenary commander?
I thank you, and good afternoon.
But, Mr. President, aren't you afraid of reprisal from House Liao? How will you keep the independence that you've worked so hard to achieve?
My people are negotiating with the Liao ambassador as we speak. Now, Chancellor Sun Tzu, he's a reasonable man. I'm certain we can find common ground. Beyond the talks, I've requested that a certain party remain on the planet and act as our protector general. I don't believe that Liao is anxious to face him again.
Setting course for the periphery, sir. And don't worry, I raised our price on MERCnet like you told me.